this is the fireplace that we bought, and chose the dimensions here of the finished fireplace from all different views: front, rear, top, side view. Down here under specifications is what they call a rough opening.
Okay.
The rough opening is a size that you need to have, the opening size you need to have to fit the fireplace in.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the measurement you go by, not by this, because this, you would have a flange that wouldn't be attached to the wood.
So I'm looking at this dimension right here because it's measuring the inside of the casing of the fireplace. So that dimension should appear down here somewhere.
No.
No?
It's 46 7/8.
Yes.
Rough opening 47 1/8.
Okay.
So there's
Just a little bit of
2/8,
clearance.
1/8 on either side.
1/8 on either side.
Assuming that you're not going to be necessarily perfectly
Gotcha.
plumb and perfectly level. Okay? So you go by the rough opening down here
Yes.
as opposed to calculating your own rough opening.
Okay.
All right? So that's what we're going to do now is we're going to measure and place the fireplace on here at 47 1/8 wide. So we know where our studs are going to be, because we marked out the studs, which are what the normally would be, but the one that goes from the bottom to the top of the fireplace needs to be tight with the fireplace rough opening. Okay, so one of the studs or an extra stud will have to be put in. All right?
All righty.
All right, so let's go find the center. Well, we know where the center of the fireplace is. It's in the center of this. Okay, I'm working always with the top board. And I need a 47 1/8 wide opening. So always do your arithmetic. Check it twice.
Because now you got to cut that dimension in half to move it out from the center.
Right, correct. Okay, so what I do is take the measurement, 47 1/8. Divide in half, so that's 23 1/2 plus a 16th. Okay,
Correct.
so I always do my arithmetic rather than trying to get the 9/8 and dividing
So
it
that
by
would be
9/16.
23 9/16 then.
Yes, so you've got all your arithmetic on a piece of paper somewhere. So let's go from the center line, 23 9/16. I'm marking on 10 because it's very difficult to get that exactly right. So we'll start at 10 and we'll go to 33 9/16.
Oh, I see what you've done.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Now this line that, okay, gotcha. You've got that set right at the center line there is where the center of the stud
Right here.
will be.
That's the center line.
Oh, okay.
This is stud line.
Yes.
And I'll show you what I do with those to make sure you know that.
All right, so that's
So 10 to 33 9/16.
that's the center of the board right there.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
And you went and added 10 inches. No, you started at 10. Gotcha. You're
Right,
just
right,
starting
right.
at 10.
And the reason I do that is you can put this on, but it's raised up and stuff.
Yes.
It's not exact, whereas this can get
Yes, yes.
exact. Okay, it's a lot easier to do.
So that I didn't confuse anybody, I was waiting for him to drag this over to the center. But as he just explained, that's a little bit of an unreliable thing. Whereas the exact markings on the rule are pretty accurate. So he just said, I'm going to use 10, and I'm going
Start
to
at
add
10.
my dimension, 23 9/16, to that, which he did.
Which you did. All right, now, what I'll do is mark that. That's the 23 9/16.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go and go over
The thickness of the board?
yeah, wait a minute, I'm trying to think of, no, I'm just going to mark an inch and a half.
because that's the thickness of
And I'm
the
gonna
stud,
mark this
right?
as a stud.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're not using marks that are no longer appropriate.
Yes,
And that's where a normal stud at 16 inches would go, but we don't have a normal stud at 16 inches. We got actually one at 4, so there's a difference of 7/16.
well, these studs are what's gonna be holding up the fireplace,
This will be,
positioning the fireplace.
these studs will be holding up this board,
Yes, okay,
which is the top, this board, which is the bottom, and this stud will be the side. There'll be another stud over there that'll be the side, okay?
okay,
It just happens that they are very close to
yes,
the other one.
yes. But they are really what's gonna be on the outside of the firebox, the electric
Correct.
fireplace.
Correct. Okay, so do the same thing on this side.
So depending upon what fireplace you had chosen, they may have not lined up anywhere near the wall studs. But
Correct.
in this case, they came approximately close just by coincidence, by
Just,
happy.
yeah, they're 47 and an eighth instead of 48.
Right.
And we moved over and made it 24 instead of 16 because of the fact that we went 8 inches from center.
Gotcha.
So let's do the same on
That would be the inside edge of the stud. Now he's going to make another mark 1.5 inches from that one, which is the thickness of the stud. And then he's got his outline of where the stud needs to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
always doing that.
So here Tom is in the process of trying to decide exactly where he wants the finished elements of the product, meaning the fireplace, the mantle, and the TV to be positioned. But, there's no set rules, no code that says you have to do this, that, or the other thing for electrical fireplace. So he's got some blue masking tape, and he's putting it on the wall in one configuration. He's got some dimensions lined out that he thinks might work based on some pictures he reviewed. And so he's just going to put some tape up here, movable, good old masking tape, so that he can then sit back and say, does that look right or not? So we'll let him go at it, and we'll come back and look at the final product. We have it at the moment.
Oh, you look from there.
Tom has put the outline. You can see where the TV at the top would be, and the mantle, and then below that where the fireplace would go. And it's all workable. We sat on the sofa, at least Tom and I did, and it all looked workable to us. So now the boss is coming out to check it out. So she doesn't like to be on film, so we'll let you know how the results come out after. All right, we're back to being live again. And Tom is in the process now of laying out pieces that are going to become the lower structure within that framework that holds up the fireplace and ultimately the TV and ultimately a mantle. And he's choosing to lay these pieces out and assemble them on the floor here rather than try to stick build them within that frame. And that's what you're seeing lined up here. And the reason for that, and it might elude a lot of people, probably would have eluded me, is that getting inside to drill holes and put screws in place or even nail things is much, much more difficult for a subassembly like this if you're trying to build it inside the framework than if you just build it outside on a flat surface and then just lift it up and place it in there. So that's what he's doing, because the other thing Tom wants to do, it's a practice you've already seen him begin on this project, is he likes to screw things together as opposed to just always nail them together. And this affords him, when it's on the floor like this, he can access everything he needs to get the job done. So that's what he's in the process of doing. And what he's doing right now is he's measuring the positions of things and he's already done it, as we talked about earlier. He put the blue tape on the wall to see the approximate positions of where he wanted things to rest. And from there, he's taken the measurements necessary to cut pieces and array them on the floor like this, so that he can now begin the process of drilling things and screwing things together. So when he gets the tools in hand and starts to make wood chips again, we'll fire the video up and catch him in the act. All right, Tom is about to launch into action here, putting this whole thing together. Now, as I look at this, Tom,
Yes.
am I standing near the side that will become the top or the bottom?
The bottom.
That'll be the bottom. All
And the way
right.
you can tell that is that's where I put it, and it's somewhere in it, it says bottom. There should be a B on it,
Well, at any rate,
B on the bottom side,
okay.
and top side.
So then, looking at it right now from this vantage point, let me go around here. That is the way it'll be stood up in that direction, and that opening is where the fireplace will go. So he's going to start drilling holes, I guess. Okay.
Now, two things, you want to keep it on your stud mark, okay? And you also want to keep the surfaces flat together.
Right. And so what you're doing is you're clamping it between your knee and your hand here,
Pretty much.
and then he's going to drive that screw right in. Now, you didn't drill a pilot hole or
I
anything?
did not.
Okay.
Too many screws to drill a pilot hole.
Ah.
Should you? Yeah, probably.
Well, not if you don't need to.
Also gets easier as you go because the part that's already together holds it. So,
So that's interesting. Well, this is all going together, building it right here on the floor.
I just saw that you called. Oh, you did? Can you hear the drill? Are they still in? Yeah.
So this is definitely not easy.
not as easy.
No, I just hit for my. Putting the, maybe it's the frame for the TV.
You got it.
Oh, probably 2:30. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No. Looks good for this.
So you just kind of saw the reason for screws is it's also easier to take things apart should it become necessary.
Like a new size fireplace, something like that.
Yeah.
Hand and heart.
Now that one doesn't look like you got it lined up here though. You're supposed to that edge?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still
So what happened there?
Oh, I missed and came inside, chipped a piece of the wood up.
Oh, okay, okay.
Just put it in a different hole.
Gotcha.
The other thing to realize is when you take these out,
Yeah?
they're hot
Oh,
because of the friction.
so you're gonna start that in a fresh hole, fresh
Fresh
meat.
hole,
Yeah.
fresh hole, better direction. Since this is the bottom, you gotta make sure that all the screws are all the way in.
So you can see this isn't perfectly easy to do, and it would be even harder if you were trying to assemble it all within that frame over there on the wall.
Hot one.
Aha. So see, what he's been doing here is he's been lining these up with the marks that he made previously, where the studs should go. So that's how he's able to get down there on the floor and just hold them together with his knee and his hand, because he knows exactly where they should be positioned. And then he can drive those screws in. I'm filming these because it's interesting that they all don't go in easy. So for you folks who might ever be doing this in the future at home, this is what you can expect.
Pre-drilled.
So if you did pre-drill a pilot hole, you probably would dodge a lot of these problems, but Tom's done enough of this work. He knows how to get these babies in there.
Use my mouth, see if we can get that over a little bit. And if you have to hammer something, don't use a regular hammer, use a rubberized mallet.
Right, right. So what are you hammering and why?
Well, this doesn't line up quite as much. It's not that important it's accurate, but I don't
You're
like
gonna,
to do.
you're gonna try to influence it a little bit.
Just like that.
Excellent.
Again, these have to be all the way in because they're on the bottom.
Oh, okay. And now he's got the whole thing fabricated, and he's already tried the fireplace. It fits good. He's added the two studs right here in the bottom for support. And now he's gonna, being the man that he is,
See if it fits.
he's gonna see if it fits.
Like always,
Wow, viola.
does.
Very nice. Very nice. Coming together. So now what apparently what I think you're doing, Tom, is you're trying to make it adjust it so all these surfaces are flush
Correct.
to one another down here,
Which is
top and
fine
bottom.
up here because they have this stopper board.
Right,
Pretty
right.
Easy. But the ones on the bottom, there's a cutout there, so we have to kind of make sure they work.
Okay. And that'll be done before you put the screws in going in here.
Yes.
yeah.
What I'll do is do one step at a time. I'll do a screw probably at this end, making sure this is right. I'll put it at that end. I'll go back here and do the bottom, back over there and do the bottom.
Okay.
So it's sort of like when you screw things in anywhere. You don't do 1, 2, 3, 4. You do 1, 3, 2, 4, so that everything comes out nice and
Almost like
even.
the whole lug nut idea on a car, right?
Exactly.
Aha.
You don't want your wheel falling off. Best to do them non-consecutive.
So there you have it so far. Now, Tom, you're not going to be putting the fireplace in anytime soon, right? I mean, you had to know that it would fit, but you got the shiplap or something that you're going to wind up putting on
What's
it?
going to happen is once all the upper framing is in, they'll all be covered with shiplap. And then the fireplace will go and get attached to the actual shiplap.
Okay, okay.
And that. And the TV mount will go against the shiplap also, but through the shiplap into the joists.
Okay,
And until I get the TV mount, the physical one, I'm going to wait on actually building that because I want to make sure that the joists that are there fit exactly for the TV mount.
okay. Well, now, will you be looking for a TV mount that would mount on 16-inch, that has a mounting plate?
You can get for 16, 18, and 24.
Okay,
What I generally do, 16 is fine, especially with 2x6s because they're extra strong. The issue is that when you start reading the reviews, some people say, I have 16-inch studs and it doesn't fit. Or it says 16-inch studs and I can't center it on the studs because the studs aren't centered. So my TV won't be in the middle. There's some slide room, but maybe not enough. So I generally want to make sure I have everything here that I'm going to be using prior to doing the construction so that I can take measurements of it on my own, such as the fireplace.
right, cool. And do you already have one picked out, but you haven't bought it yet?
Yes, it's on its way.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be here this afternoon.
Ah, excellent.
It's according to Amazon,
Well, they're never wrong.
and they're never wrong.
Now, I'm going to point out here, Tom, something that you didn't always do, and you're drilling pilot holes.
Right,
And sometimes you do and sometimes you don't.
right.
And why are you doing that now?
Well, because you can get more accurate with the pilot holes.
Okay,
It depends on what's the grain of the wood that you're screwing into. If you're screwing a screw in without a pilot hole and you're anywhere near a knot, it's not going to go in.
okay,
Okay, and the reason being is that you're going to strip the head off the screw prior to getting it in through the knot. So if you drill it, you got a lot better chance of getting through the knot. And
Okay.
if you don't get through the knot, you move the drill bit and go somewhere else.
right, go somewhere else with it. Okay,
That's what I'm going to do here because this wants to push this one out a little bit.
okay.
So I'm going to do it, go further back.
And you're going to right away switch over to a bit and put a screw in there.
Correct.
Ah,
One at a time.
there's the whole one at a time thing. A little more timely, right? You can't just run around drilling holes. You got to put screws in, but that's
If you drill all your holes and then put your screws in, I can guarantee you that they won't all be right. All right, so that's one corner done. So we'll move over to the other corner. Top. We'll do another check, but I'm pretty sure it hasn't moved since it was level before. And it's right on.
So what I'm seeing here, this is what you're gonna, right now it's sitting out here a little bit proud, that edge. So you gotta push it in while you're gonna drill that hole.
Yes.
Okay.
I did that on that side too.
Oh,
I pushed
okay.
out a little bit on the first one, so that's why I went to the second hole first.
Okay. Well, it's not going anywhere now.
Well, we're gonna go down the bottom on the opposite corner. So this is all gonna be twisting whatever until it's straight.
Okay.
Good size knot on this one, so be interesting to see how well it does. This is off at the other end. Rather than just, I'm gonna try to get closer on the other end before I drill this one,
Okay.
just so it doesn't, it's not gonna stay very low. Move it by a little bit that way.
Takes the drill bit out, put the screw in immediately, cinch down that corner.
And may come back. That didn't go in as far as I would like it to have.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will probably do is go back at that with
Okay.
a powered
Oh, power drill, yeah.
drill rather than,
Now, as a consequence of having put the three of those in and everything is pretty flush, I'm noticing this one is inward. So
Yes.
that means you'll be pulling it out a little bit.
I'll be pulling it out before I put it in. Yep. Let's do it. The key here is to make sure it's flush because you have to be flush all the way across the bottom.
Right.
As long as you flush from both ends, you flush in the middle.
You- Little things that you do like that are the difference between things that come out looking very well done and or sloppy.
Oh, I missed. Too low.
Oh, I see.
It's between the boards.
Yeah,
This board's
yeah.
not down. It's,
It's a hard,
Right.
hard thing to do from that angle.
I know, it is for me. I also put the bits up here. I mean, maybe a little bit paranoid, but it's a vinyl floor.
Oh, right.
Sometimes the bits and the screws that get taken back them out
Yep.
get hot.
Hmm.
So you don't want to do is set them hot on the vinyl floor, or you'll have melted vinyl floor.
So that one was just put in a little bit low. So you just drill the hole right above it.
All right, back to the first corner.
Now he'll go around again and put the second screws in, the partner screws at all 4 corners. Excellent.